Start here. As many of you know, Michaela Montgomery, that's her name. She's a young lady that was at Chick-fil-A last week when I was at Chick-fil-A. And she was on Fox News, and she's been getting a lot of flack. So have the other students who were with her at Chick-fil-A. And the name calling, being threatened, being bullied. One of the young ladies that goes to Spelman took a picture with Donald Trump with a Spelman sweatshirt on, and she's now getting bullied in school. Not sure if the school is doing anything to protect this young lady. It's disgusting. It really is disgusting. These are young people. Now, I can understand if you think you want to call me names or any other adult, any other African-American conservative, you want to go after us in any way, that's fine. We're adults. It's not even that we can handle it or not handle it. That's not the point. The point is, as adults, we've made a decision on who we support or what team we support or what candidates we support, and we are able to defend that decision. Right? And if you don't agree with it, you just don't agree with it. And if you want to call us names, have at it. It's a little childish to me, but have at it. But to go after college students. And so before I go any further, let me be clear. I'm very consistent in my view about going after college students because of their opinion. Because I didn't think it was right that Wall Street honchos came out and said they would not interview for a job any college students that protested against Israel. Remember that? And I loudly and clearly said here, whether I agree with these kids or not, they have a right to have their opinions. And they're college kids. And their opinions on any issue should not ruin their lives, that they can't work again because they participated in a protest or wanted to go take a picture with Donald Trump, a former president and current candidate for president, at a Chick-fil-A. But that's what's going on. That is exactly what's going on here. And I've got grown adult men, especially these men I don't understand, and I'll call them out. The Midas touch. This guy's a piece of garbage. And how any African-American male would allow this guy to go after a sister in a way in which he does, don't tell me about protect all black women, because you're liars. You only protect those that agree with you. But Roland Martin, Keith Boykin, all of these men going after this young woman, she's a young girl. She's a young girl. And you're calling her names and you're allowing people on your platforms to destroy her, which allows other kids that are still in school to be bullied. And you're letting it happen. No one's coming to the aid of this young girl that goes to Spelman that's being bullied. Who's defending her? Oh, you can't defend her? Whatever happened to protect the black woman? But you only say that when it's your side, when it's someone that agrees with you, which means by definition, you don't mean protect all black women. You mean protect all black women that agree with us. Protect all people that say what we want them to say, which is the only lesson you're trying to teach these kids. Don't step out of line or we'll ruin your lives. You're only 19, 20, 18, 19, 20, 21 years old, but for taking a picture, we're going to ruin your life. Now let's get to the fact is, what are they so afraid of? I was at this event. There's a young man who had standing next to me. He's a young brother. He had a hat from 2016, a Make America Great hat, that he handed to President Trump and said, can you sign this for me? No one's going after him. Why not? What are you afraid of? Why are you going after the young sister and not the men? Because you know their reaction to this tells you everything you need to know about these nasty, nasty liberals. And that is, once they lose a black woman, they know they have no partying. They have no party. There's no Democratic Party if you lose the black female vote. And by losing it, I mean it's down to 80-something%. Used to be in the 90s. They're losing it. They keep talking about black men, but they're really losing the black female. They're losing the whole black vote. Because if you don't get 90+% of the black vote, you're done. You're done as a political party. The far left hates you because they think you're corporatists on the Democratic side. African Americans are gravitating away from you, not to the Republican Party, but just away from you. So what do you have to do now? You have to resort to extreme measures. So you go after this young girl. I've known Michaela. I'll tell you, I've known Michaela since she was in college, and she's a conservative. That doesn't mean this event was staged. What happened, and I was there, what happened was President Trump was coming. He was going to stop at the Chick-fil-A off of Martin Luther King Drive, and a call went out, hey, do you want to meet President Trump? Sure. Hey, Shelly's going to be at a Chick-fil-A at this time. Okay, I'll go by. They called Michaela. Michaela put out on a group thread. She said it. She put out on a group thread. Who wants to meet President Trump? And a dozen or so students says, I do. And they went. Nothing was staged insofar as it's a president and they have to have security. So, no, you can't be driving up 85 and say, and the president, Trump says, oh, turn off here. I want to go to Chick-fil-A. And they just turn off and go to Chick-fil-A. It was planned, but it wasn't staged. These kids wanted to meet him. Their excitement to take a picture with President Trump was real. Her excitement to take a picture with President Trump was real. And she's always been a conservative. So what your biggest concern should be is why isn't she voting with every other black woman at her age? That's your concern, not to destroy the woman. Your concern should be, hey, Michaela, how do we get you back on our side? Why did you go over to that side? That's what you should be asking. You shouldn't be bullying the Spelman student, a young freshman, a female. You shouldn't be bullying her for taking a picture. She didn't say she was going to vote for Donald Trump. She was just excited to meet the man. And any 18, 19, 20-year-old would be excited to meet a former president of the United States at a Chick-fil-A on Martin Luther King Drive in Atlanta, as was a couple dozen. They were excited. They pulled their phones out. They took pictures. But you also got so bent out of shape, you proved to us how much of a plantation you want to make this Democratic Party to be. Because you went after these kids with a hatred, with such a hatred. They were kids. These are kids. And you're ready to destroy kids' lives over politics because you're so enamored with the Democratic Party. You're so tied to it. You're so chained to it, dare I say, that anybody, I remember the movie Django. I'll never forget the scene. Django and the German guy are going down the road, and they see these slave catchers, and they kill the slave catchers, and they undo the cage, and the two guys sitting there with an open cage. They sit there. They're afraid to run. Well, Michaela ran. And you're going to make fun of her? You're going to destroy her life because she ran? You're going to bully a young lady because she took a picture? Let me tell you something, man. Any of you men, the Boykins, the Roland Martins, any of you grown men, the Midas Touch, any of you grown men want to go after these young people and destroy their lives for simply taking a picture that makes you less of a man. Dare I say, much less of a man. Because if anything, you can disagree with what they did. And you can say, hey, I disagree with you. You should be for Biden. Here's why. But to allow people to destroy these young people's lives for taking a picture means that you've been bought, sold, and you're totally in slavery to the Democratic Party. I can criticize my side. And if one of my friends took a picture with Joe Biden, I'd cheer him on. But you're enslaved to the Democratic Party. And I don't mean that. I don't say that lightly, because your reaction to Michaela Montgomery tells me everything I need to know, that you're willing to throw young black women and young black men who are in college, you're willing to throw them under a bus so your white guy can become president. What does that tell you? That tells me you're on a plantation protecting massa. 404-872-0750, 1-800, WSB Talk. Give me a call. We got more.